Heidi and I headed back to the hotel, and we've had a little change into something a bit cooler, as we're going to walk now from the hotel up to Rydal, which I don't even think you can call it a village really. There's a hall, there's Rydal Mount where William Wordsworth lived and died. There's St Mary's Church, which is where he was church warden. There's the Grot, which I absolutely love. It's just a beautiful building, built purposely so you could sit and watch the waterfall, a beautiful framing for it. And there's also the Badger Bar, which is a brilliant pub where they have live cameras so you can sit and watch the badgers eating in an evening. And there's also Dora's field, which was planted full of daffodils for Dora, which was William Wordsworth's daughter. So when she passed, he planted this beautiful field of daffodils for her. And I want to go and see if it's in bloom, because I've never seen it in bloom before. Heidi has spotted some pigs in the field. Oh, how nice it is to see pigs roaming.
You have it except for that one.
This house here is Ghyll. It is where the famous author Thomas de Quincey once lived. Honestly, this area is just synonymous with famous names, loads and loads of authors and poets, and I can fully understand why they wanted to live in such a gorgeous location. It's just so breathtakingly beautiful and inspiring. Heidi's trying to cross the stepping stones, but they're quite far apart.
There's one way to do it.
That is definitely one way to do it. Yeah, be super careful. She's made it over. Bless her, she's proud of herself. We are almost there. Just up this road, over that pack horse bridge ahead, and take a left and a right, and we are there. This is one of my favourite spots to come and sit. You can see Rydal Hall just there in the background. I just think it's so picturesque with that lovely pack horse bridge, and you can come and sit down by the water here. Now, Rydal is a really tiny little place. I wouldn't even say it's a village, I'd say it's a hamlet. And over time, this tiny little hamlet of just a few buildings has seen so many literary giants call it home. So, as I've mentioned before, William Wordsworth, Thomas de Quincey, and even Hartley Coleridge, son of Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Oh wow, I forgot how much wild garlic they have here at Rydal. So much, look at it, stunning. In a month's time, this is just covered in beautiful white flowers. I'll have to see if I can find one of my old previous snippets of clip that I took when this was in bloom. I think it was late April or maybe early May time. But I've completely forgotten about it. This is just smelling heavenly. It's just such a stunning natural landscape around here. You can see why it's been the muse of so many romantic literature, artists and poetry. It feels like you're walking through a portrait hanging in a gallery. So this is Rydal Hall, the first notable building in the area, which was built by Sir Thomas le Fleming back in, I think, 1409. The Fleming family remained on these lands until 1940, when the last of them died. Records show that the hamlet of Rydal was majorly a farming village, but despite this, it still had so many famous residents over the years, including the famous painter Fred Yeats, and it's also had a lot of other well-known names visit this area, including Turner, Francis Town, Joseph Wright, John Constable, Woodrow Wilson. It's had so many people come to visit, and I'm sure you can understand why. It's just so incredibly picturesque. Look at all of these daffodils. So pretty. Right, we are making our way down to the grot, which is a lot nicer than it sounds. Gosh, this smells so good. Wild garlic again. It's just everywhere. So the grot, or grotto, was built in 1668 by Sir Daniel Fleming, and it was designed as a place to frame and enjoy the spectacular Rydal Falls, which I will show you just behind. It's one of Britain's earliest examples of a viewing station, and William Wordsworth was particularly fond of the grot, writing about it in one of his earlier poems, An Evening Walk, and he visited it regularly, with his nephew even shortly before his death in 1850. Let me take you inside. Just look at that. Look at how clear the water is. It's crystal. whenever I come to the Lake District, I always have to come to Rydal just to enjoy this magnificent view. Stopped again. As you can see, Heidi has found a little perch and she is painting again. Bless her. Saying that, I can't argue with the view. When Wordsworth left Grasmere and Dove Cottage behind, he moved in here to Rydal Mount, which you might just be able to make out through those trees, just through there. That is where he lived and ultimately died in 1850, but just a stone's throw from the fabulous Rydal Hall, and not too far from the grot. Oh, here she is! Hello. Hi. Here's the view from the top of the steps. Just look at the scenery. So I've got Rydal Hall right behind me, and up there, this cottage, not that one, that is Rydal Mount. That is where William Wordsworth lived and died, just a stone's throw from the hall. And just down here, past this secondary car park, you might be able to see St Mary's Church in the distance, and Wordsworth helped Lady Fleming pick the spot for the church. It's quite a steep walk up here. Look at that view though. And here it is, William Wordsworth's family home for 37 years, from 1813 until his death in 1850. From here he composed and revised many of his poems, including Daffodils, which was published from here in 1815. The house is now owned by direct descendants of the family, of the Wordsworth family, and remains a family home. But it is also open to the public to go and view at certain times of the year. It's not at the moment, but it's about 4:30 in the afternoon, so it may well have been open earlier, but it's not open at present, so I can't show you around. But it's something to do when you are here in Rydal. Well worth a visit. So there we have it. That is Rydal Mount, where the Wordsworth family moved to after leaving Dove Cottage in Grasmere. That's where he was living with his sister Dorothy. Then he married Mary and she moved in with her sister. And then within the space of 3 years, they had 4 children. So the cottage became extremely cosy. So they were looking for somewhere else to move, and they found Rydal Mount, which they rented from Lady Fleming across in Rydal Hall. I would have showed you Dove Cottage, but unfortunately you can't film inside there or even take photographs. So I will see if I can dig out some photos, because I did a job a few years ago with a tour company up here in the lakes, and I was allowed to take photo and video at that point. So I'll see if I can dig any of those out and put those on screen for you so you can see it, because it is a really beautiful little cottage. Heidi's just done a little drawing of me and her. You've got your little bag. I've got my stripy shirt on.
It's in my style.
In your style. It's very sweet. So this is the Church of St Mary here in Rydal, built by Lady Fleming at a cost of £1,500 back then. As I mentioned, Wordsworth helped her to choose the site. Apparently originally this was an orchard. Just up ahead here, you have the church entrance to your right, and then straight through that gateway is Dora's field. This is where Wordsworth planted thousands of daffodils in honour of his daughter Dora, who died from tuberculosis. Here we are inside the church. Just down here on the left is the Wordsworth pew, where the family would sit when they attended services. Wordsworth last attended service here on March 10th, 1850. 2 days later, he got sick, and then by the 23rd of April, he had passed.
Oh, it's just a flower.
Little flower. So you've collected a camellia.
And this one.
Is that an azalea or rhododendron? Can never tell the difference.
That's
They're
really
pretty.
there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go through into Dora's field and see if the daffodils are out. I've never seen them. Oh, look. Looks like they are. Gosh, how pretty is this? Such dainty little daffodils as well. Oh, the sunlight streaming through and illuminating all the daffodils. It's just so pretty. I really hope this translates on camera, because in person it's spectacular. Just one more week and it would be phenomenal. That said though, I am enjoying this. What a pretty scene. What a beautiful way to remember his daughter by. breathtakingly beautiful as this. Look at it. Thousands and thousands of daffodils. Goodness, it just goes on and on and on. I don't think I've ever seen a display like this. This is spectacular. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Wow, wow, wow. Truly something spectacular. Have you ever seen anything quite like this? Oh wow, that was rather dreamy, don't you think? I have never seen it with all the daffodils out, so this was a first. I am really impressed. I do remember though that last time I did visit here, it was full of bluebells, so it's also worth a visit in May if you are up in this area. Now Heidi and I are walking down the path. So we've come from St Mary's Church, which is at the top, at the back there. We've come through Dora's field, and now we are walking back down towards the main road and to the Badger Bar. It's so called because they have cameras that you can view from inside the pub, and they feed the badgers every night. I just spotted a mountain goat tour van. That's who I worked with. It just reminded me. And here's Heidi doing some more painting. Of all the places to stop. And here we are, the Badger Bar, 17th century inn. Let's go in and get cozy. So we are going to sit in here and have some dinner. Such a fabulous setting. Very warm and cozy. I think that there must have been the original door. Proper traditional coal fire. Haven't seen one of these in a while. This reminds me of the smell of my granddad's house, my mum's dad. So my mum's dad, my grandfather on my mother's side, was from Northern Ireland, and he was a really loud man, very, very loud, to the point where we called him Noisy D instead of Grandad. He was Noisy D. That became his nickname. But it reminded me of him because this is what his house smelt like, of coal fires, because that is how his house was fueled, and I think he even worked down in the coal mines, so he had an abundance of coal. I remember a large coal store outside the house. But yeah, this has brought back a lot of memories with the smell of the coals firing. Miss Heidi hasn't had enough to eat today. She's just spotted a cookie dough hot chocolate on the menu, so of course, what have we gone for? For that. Look at the size of it. Can you finish it all? Can you finish it? What have you found? Little lockbox in the wall. What a pretty evening. Well, as we walked here, we will need to either walk back, which Heidi isn't keen to do after getting a big full belly, or catch a taxi. But what we have just discovered at the bottom of this road, which leads to Rydal Hall and Rydal Mount, is the bus stop. So we're going to catch a bus back to Ambleside. Right, we've caught a bus. £3 for the pair of us, and we are heading back to Ambleside with all these lovely scenic views out the windows. Somebody's full of beans. We've just gotten off the bus and Heidi says that that was like being on the night bus. All that bumpy.
Just freaking bumping all the way.
Anyway, we've made it back to central Ambleside now and just need to have a short 5-minute walk back to the hotel. Well, we are back here again where we had dinner last night over there at the tap yard in the background, which is all beautifully lit up. And here is Bridge House. Right, have a little short walk back to our hotel. Saved us a good 40-minute walk, which is nice. Someone's in a little happy dancy mood. And we're back at the manor, all beautifully illuminated. Good morning, good morning. Another beautiful day. It's really, really warm. We've got the windows wide open. Let me show you our view. Isn't that beautiful? Just mountains. Very picturesque. We're gonna head out now for a walk. It's almost time to check out actually, so we're gonna have to go and do that. our belted galloways. Look at that view. Heidi and I have come out just for a very quick walk before lunch. We're at Tarn Hows. Again, something else we have to thank Beatrix Potter for. This morning's traffic jam, Lake District style. The cars from either direction are having to wait until these lovely cows, belted galloways, meander down the road. Everybody else is at a standstill. I've just spotted down there that cute little cottage. You see the white one there? That is where we're headed now. It's called Yew Tree Cottage, and it was one that belonged to Beatrix Potter, and is actually somewhere that you can go and stay at now. I'll leave a link below for you. If you want to do a nice walk, park at the Glen car park, and you can have a good wander around the Yew Valley, going through all of these beautiful woodlands. This is the car park. There's not a great deal, but it is National Trust, so if you're a National Trust member, you can park for free. If you come out of the car park and walk left along this bit of road, you will come to this gateway here. You can either walk that way, and if you do, you get a really nice view actually of Yew Tree Cottage. But what I like to do is walk up in this direction, and you get to walk all the way up to the top, and you get some magnificent views. Through the gate and just look at these views. And there you have it, Beatrix Potter's Yew Tree Farm. Well, I'm not going to do any more of the walk around here. We have lunch booked back at the hotel, and yeah, we're running a little bit behind already just because I got distracted by all the beautiful views up at Tarn Hill. So we're going to make our way back to the hotel now, have lunch and say goodbye. It's been a really, really amazing couple of days. I love this part of the country. If you haven't been before, I hope this video inspires you to come and explore the Lake District, because it is simply picture perfect. It's incredible. Please, please, please do come and pay the Lake District a visit. Well, that is our time in the Lake District come to a close. Rothay Manor was absolutely amazing. I highly recommend it for anyone in the area, and I hope you have enjoyed going around the Lake District with us. I will see you again soon. Lots of love.